Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a fault code that can be a bit of a head-scratcher, P2099, Post-Catalyst Fuel Compensation System Too Rich, Bank 2. Now, this code basically means that the engine is running too rich on Bank 2, which is the side of the engine with cylinders 2, 4, 6, and 8. This can be caused by a few different things. So in this video, we're going to go over some of the most common causes and how to diagnose them. We'll also talk about how to fix the problem, so if you're seeing this code on your car, be sure to check out this video. The P2099 code indicates a problem with the post-catalyst fuel compensation system on Bank 2 of your vehicle. This system is responsible for ensuring that the engine is running at the optimal air-fuel ratio, even after the catalytic converter. When the code is triggered, it means that the system is detecting that the exhaust is too rich, meaning there is too much fuel and not enough air. There are several potential causes for the P2099 code, including faulty oxygen sensor. The oxygen sensor is responsible for measuring the amount of oxygen in the exhaust. If the sensor is faulty, it may send incorrect information to the engine control unit, ECU, which can cause the engine to run too rich. Fuel injector issue. A faulty fuel injector can cause too much fuel to be injected into the engine, leading to a rich condition. Vacuum leak. A vacuum leak can cause the engine to run lean, which can trigger the P2099 code. Catalytic converter issue. A clogged or damaged catalytic converter can also cause the P2099 code. Exhaust leak. An exhaust leak can allow unburned fuel to enter the exhaust system, which can trigger the P2099 code. If you are experiencing the P2099 code, it is important to have it diagnosed and repaired by a qualified mechanic. Ignoring the code can lead to further problems, such as damage to the catalytic converter or decreased fuel economy. Here are some additional resources that you may find helpful. OBD2 Trouble Code P2099. https://www.obdcodes.com/P2099 P2099 code, Post-Catalyst Fuel Trim System Too Rich Bank 2, https://www.yourmechanic.com/article/P2099 code Post-Catalyst Fuel Trim System Too Rich Bank 2 by Spencer Clayton. P2099 code, Post-Catalyst Fuel Trim System Too Rich Bank 2, https://www.youtube.com/watch v=4 to 58_068584. I hope this information is helpful. The P2099 code is triggered when the post-catalyst fuel compensation system detects that the exhaust gases from Bank 2 are too rich. This means that there is too much fuel and not enough oxygen in the exhaust, which can lead to several problems. Some of the most common symptoms of the P2099 code include illuminated check engine light. This is the most common symptom of the P2099 code. The check engine light will illuminate on the dashboard to alert the driver of a potential problem. Increased fuel consumption. When the engine is running rich, it uses more fuel than necessary. This can lead to a noticeable decrease in fuel economy. Rough idle. A rich fuel mixture can also cause the engine to idle rough or stall. Hesitation or lack of power. In some cases, the P2099 code can cause the engine to hesitate or lose power, especially during acceleration. Black smoke from the exhaust. If the engine is running very rich, you may see black smoke coming from the exhaust pipe. If you are experiencing any of the symptoms listed above, it is important to have the P2099 code diagnosed by a qualified mechanic. The mechanic will use a diagnostic scanner to retrieve the code from the engine control unit, ECU. They will then use this information to diagnose the problem and recommend the appropriate repairs. Here are some of the steps that a mechanic may take to diagnose the P2099 code. Inspect the exhaust system for leaks. A leak in the exhaust system can allow oxygen to enter the exhaust stream, which can cause the engine to run rich. Check the oxygen sensors. The oxygen sensors are responsible for measuring the amount of oxygen in the exhaust gases. If the oxygen sensors are not working properly, they can send incorrect information to the ECU, which can cause the engine to run rich. Inspect the fuel injectors. The fuel injectors are responsible for delivering fuel to the engine. If the fuel injectors are clogged or leaking, they can deliver too much fuel to the engine, which can cause it to run rich. Check the mass airflow sensor, MAF. The MAF sensor measures the amount of air that is entering the engine. If the MAF sensor is not working properly, it can send incorrect information to the ECU, which can cause the engine to run rich. The repairs for the P2099 code will vary depending on the underlying cause of the problem. However, some of the most common repairs include repairing exhaust leaks. If the mechanic finds an exhaust leak, they will need to repair it to prevent oxygen from entering the exhaust stream. Replacing the oxygen sensors. If the oxygen sensors are not working properly, they will need to be replaced. Cleaning or replacing the fuel injectors. If the fuel injectors are clogged or leaking, they will need to be cleaned or replaced. Replacing the MAF sensor. If the MAF sensor is not working properly, it will need to be replaced. In some cases, the P2099 code may be caused by a software problem with the ECU. If this is the case, the mechanic will need to update the ECU software. It is important to note that the repairs for the P2099 code can be expensive. However, it is important to have the problem repaired as soon as possible to prevent further damage to the engine.